I guess we are live now. Let me quickly check the audio settings. Yes, seems fine. Okay, so let's wait couple of minutes. Let other people join, and then we will resume this live session. So, hello, good evening, everyone. I need a quick information. Please let me know in the chat whether you're able to hear me properly or not. Hi, Kirti. Okay, so before people join, I have a couple of announcements that I will be making. So, thank you, Parishtosh. Thank you, Akhila. Thank you, Joginder. Hello. Hi, Shransh. Avinash, Rohan, Sitarami, Ganesh, Afroz. Hi, Nikita. Hi, Ganesh. Okay, so hi, Sheikh Ali. Okay, so got the confirmation. Thank you so much for the confirmation, and we can resume our live Q&A session. First of all, congratulations, Kirti, for 10 lakhs package. And the comment says because of you got 10 lakhs package. So many congratulations. And feel free to connect with me after the session in case if you need any help, any guidance. Okay, so Sheikh Ali says eagerly waiting for the Chennai meet. Yeah, thank you, Sheikh. So first of all, guys, I want to make a small announcement that we have RTP in Chennai. So next week, next Saturday, we have RTP meetup. So we have done multiple meetups in different cities. We started with Bangalore, then Pune, then we did in Hyderabad, Delhi. Again, we did in Bangalore. Okay, and there's a sixth meetup that we are doing in Chennai. We did 2 meetups in Bangalore and we got a good response. So if you are in Chennai, if you're in nearby location, feel free to join us. We have complete full day packed from 11 to 6. We have different session planned. So me, Naveen and Sanjay, we all are coming from Bangalore. We'll reach on Friday and we'll do some quick setup and I will see you on Saturday. So we have 3 different sessions, 1 hour session by Naveen, 1 hour session by me, 1 hour session by Sanjay on different topics. Apart from that, we have group discussion, general Q&A session. It's a great chance where you can network with other people because it's all about network nowadays. If you have good network, good connections, it will help you to grow better. Apart from this, we have some goodies planned. We have lunch, high tea, and it will be a crazy event. So if you're in Chennai, please join us. In case we're not able to join, please inform your friends, colleagues. So we are charging a very nominal amount because of the event. We booked a dedicated hotel for the event and a proper seminar hall and other logistics. But we'll try our best to serve you better. So yeah, we can start with a Q&A session. Feel free to ask any query. Apart from this, there are a couple of announcements from Java side. So as you might know that Java 8 will stop supporting, Selenium will stop supporting Java 8 after September. So if you have not upgraded, please upgrade to Java 11 so that you will not miss any new changes and updates which is coming from Selenium. Selenium also have introduced something called CFT. So if you're using the latest version of Selenium, after Chrome 1.14, you have to use something called CFT, Chrome for testing. So latest versions also available, which is Selenium 4.12.1. So in case if you're still working with the previous dependencies, you can update so that you will get the new Selenium Manager functionality. And now Selenium have also introduced Selenium Logger. So soon I will be making with one video on Selenium Logger as well. Okay, so market is good for job change. So because not completely, but yes, market is recovering slowly. I can see a lot of openings are coming, but not as per the last year. So after the recession, Now companies started hiring slowly, and they're hiring uh, not in a bulk, but yes, few openings are coming. So recently I published few openings on my LinkedIn profile as well, and with my connections, those who are connected. So in case if you're not in hurry, you can wait for some time, but in the meanwhile, if you're getting good opportunity, please go ahead. And last week JP Morgan was hiring, and Sephora, there was few companies in Manyata Tech Park. I don't remember the name, but hiring is happening, but at a slow speed. So if you are in bench, okay, if you're not getting good projects, you can start hunting. In case if you get, go ahead. But in case if you're planning that you want to switch after a few months, you can wait for a couple of months and then start this job hunting. In the meanwhile, you can work on the skill set, because market is very competitive now. If you see most of the job description, they're expecting a lot of things from the candidates. So if you are someone who have 5 plus 10 plus experience, you will see the different expectation. So work on a skill set. Is there any plan for Selenium with Python? So Selenium with Java is already completed. Selenium with Python we can think, because right now I'm working on Playwright with JavaScript. Once that series is over, we can definitely plan Selenium with Python. I made around 7 to 8 videos in 2018. Not 7 to 8, around 18 videos. That is that covers Selenium basics, and Python completely uploaded. So you can refer that playlist. Except initial few videos, rest everything is same. What is the current job market in India for more than 10 years? So, Sitarami, openings are less as compared to 5 to 8 or 5 to 7 years experience. So, when you cross 10 years, 13 years, 15 years, right, you have less openings. But yes, many companies are still hiring for test architects. You can apply for test lead, test architect, senior test lead. But be careful, because market is expecting a lot from a 10 years candidate, as I mentioned. Not one tool will help. You need to have minimum two automation tools. You should have API testing in your resume. You should have mobile automation, one BTD framework, Jira, SQL, Postman, everything, including the cloud services. Prashant says how to scroll Angular grid in Playwright. So Prashant, basically Playwright handles this scrolling automatically, but if you have to scroll within the view, then they have a dedicated method for scrolling into the view. So you can explore that method. That method will keep on scrolling until you're not getting the desired element, and it can scroll. In Playwright, you can also use JavaScript executor separately. Suppose in case the built-in methods are not working with Playwright, you can use scroll functions which is available in JavaScript, and you can trigger this. Akila says how to deal with unrealistic expectation of management about automation. So Akila, maybe if you can explore a little more about what is unrealistic expectation, then I can add some points from my side, because unrealistic expectation can be anything, right? Maybe you have to automate few tests in a day, or maybe you have to design the complete architecture or the framework within a few days or few weeks. Maybe you have to set up infrastructure within few days. So define what is unrealistic expectation, then maybe I can add some value here. What is the scope or future for Python automation? So Bappa, if you ask me in terms of automation, um, if you asked me last year, most of the companies were looking for Selenium, then JavaScript, then Python. Now I can see Selenium and JavaScript or Python is almost same. Since we have many tools in the market for JavaScript, let's say Playwright, Cypress, WebDriver IO, right? So when it comes to automation tool for JavaScript is getting popular. But when it comes to Python, for automation, we have very limited libraries. But in Europe, I can see the trend is changing in Europe, and most of the US region, they're looking for Python also. So you have to decide first where exactly you're targeting. If you're targeting within the India, then you have to focus again still on Selenium Java, and I will suggest Cypress. But let's say if you're targeting a different region, then you can go with Python. When it comes to number of openings, I can see a huge difference. Selenium with Java is still on the high. But when it comes to Python and JavaScript, depends on the region. But Python is must if you are planning for DevOps. And in case if your company is working on Python, then you don't have a choice. You have to learn Python and implement accordingly. Jelani Sheikh, any plan for Selenium with Python classes? No plan as such, Jelani. We might launch in November, because in October we're launching a Cypress batch. It will be evening Cypress batch, 2 months of batch, JavaScript, then Cypress, Chai, Mocha, GitHub Actions, and integration with different tools. But Selenium with Python might take some time. Mukesh, any thought on AI capital on Selenium? No, I have not explored this yet, but let me check and I will get back to you. Regarding this, I have another webinar which is coming on 21st on generative AI, how AI can generate the test cases, write the test cases, execute the test cases, and it will give you the result with a few click. You just need to write some prompts and it will generate, execute the test case. Very interesting webinar on 21st. So it will be on my YouTube channel, 8:30 p.m. IST. So it will be with Test Trigger. So Artem, who is the CEO and founder of Test Trigger, will be joining us and explain what is generative AI, how AI is changing the test automation, and how Test Trigger is using generative AI for testers. Vikas Kumar, how will I prepare for interviews? 5 years experience in testing. So because when it comes to 5 years, you have to be careful whether you're showcasing 5 years into completely automation or 3+2 or 2+3. When I say 3+2, 3 means 3 years into manual, 2 years into automation. When I say 2+3, 2 years into manual and 3 years into automation. According to that, your preparation will change. And when it comes to preparation with 5+, again, you have to be clear with one of the cloud services. You have to get comfortable with one of the web automation tool, API automation tool. Okay. And SQL default. And in case if you're working with API, so Postman is by default for you. So minimum you should have one tool, okay, which is web automation using Selenium or Cypress. If you can have two, it's good. And if you want to check what is the real expectation, I would highly recommend what you can do: open LinkedIn or any other job portal, search for a keyword, select your experience, select the area, and see the number of companies. See the job description, what kind of expectation they have. If you're able to satisfy 70 to 80% of the job description, you can apply. But when you see the JDs, you will understand what is the expectation in the market. What are the common tools you're able to find in every JD and start accordingly. Okay. And if you don't have a skill, please work on the skill set. Building a skill is one of the most important part now, because market is changing very drastically after AI. And if you're not up to the market, it might replace you very soon. Okay. So be very competitive in the market. And in case if you face an issue, let me know. Some questions are already answered. One question. Hi man, I do not have a degree. I'm a diploma holder in mechanical with 5 years experience. I want to change my career into testing. I learned Selenium Cucumber. Rest assured, guide me to get the first job. So, what should I call you? CB. So, CB, first of all, I want to check how many companies you have applied, whether you're getting calls or not. Okay. So, when you have, you do not have a degree, you just have a diploma. So, definitely, few companies you cannot apply. Many companies they have the precondition that you should be having B degree, BTech degree with percentage. So you have to target some companies, those who do not have this criteria that you should be B or BTech. Point number two, you can target the startup, because many startup companies they don't worry whether you have a diploma or an engineering degree. They work on your skill set. They will take interview, and if you're able to crack the interviews, you can easily join the startups. But for big MNCs, they have the criteria. So even if you apply, you will not get the calls. So you maybe have to start with some small companies. Once you get some real time experience, then you have to switch accordingly. So that's a small hack that you have to do, but that is compulsory for you. Many remote jobs, they do not have this condition. So if you're comfortable, you can apply for the remote jobs in US, UK, Canada, Australia. They do not have this condition. So target very specific set of companies and start applying. Okay. uh, Another question from MD Ibrahim sir. Need to know about Playwright learning and opening. That's a very interesting question. So if you ask me, give me two tools from JavaScript, I will say Playwright and Cypress. Even though Playwright is much powerful than Cypress, it supports multiple programming languages, multiple OS support, multiple browser support. Very useful and very important tool, and far better than Cypress. But if you see the market in terms of opening, Cypress having more openings. So if you're looking for a job change, you can maybe try Cypress. But if your company is working on Playwright, go with the Playwright. Playwright with JavaScript is about to complete maybe 12 more videos. Then I will start selling Playwright with Python. So depends on your goal. If you're just looking for the learning, learn Playwright. But if you're targeting job change, then Cypress. Hi Madhukar, good to see your message. Vinit Singh, how to make Java as good as any developer? Any suggestion for that? How to start? भैया big fan. आपने वीडियो डालना कम कर दिया. Yes, Vineet, थोड़े से कुछ issues चल रहे हैं, but soon I will be back with regular content. See, when it comes to improving your coding skill, it takes time. You first of all, the comparison is wrong. You cannot code like how developer code, right? But slowly we can reach to that level after practice. So if you want to apply as a test automation engineer, we will just need core Java basics. Okay, core Java is what we need in order to start. But when you work as a developer, you will be using a different libraries and framework to build your web application, mobile application, right? To build your web services, you will be using Spring Boot, you will be using Hibernate, you will be using Struts, you will be use different framework for different type of goal you want to achieve. In test automation, we use Java core concepts to build our automation framework, to build our test cases. Now when it comes to improvement, slowly once you get into automation, I would highly recommend you to start working on the framework, because the moment you make your framework, you will see all your logics you will be applying, whether it's a reflection, collection, exception handling. Okay, your if else, your logics will improve the moment you start working on framework. So initially you build a basic framework, then you have to make multiple versions of that framework, because framework development, it's a iterative activity. It might take multiple months, multiple iterations to get better in coding and framework, right? So don't think that you have to become as a developer. Every day you try to improve that, how you can improve your code. One suggestion I will give, that you can start checking the GitHub repository, how other developers write the code, what kind of library they use. Same thing can be solved in multiple ways. I might write code in a different way and achieve the same output. You might write the code in a say in different way, achieve the same output. But we have to see how complex your code, when it comes to time complexity, space complexity, which code runs better, save time and save memory. So code improvement will take time, but the only way to improve is practice and see how others are writing the code. Best way to check the different open source libraries. That's how I have learned. uh, Writing code in Selenium is not a big task, but the moment you open source code of Selenium, you will learn so many different topics, how internally the driver is getting used, how these different classes interfaces are linked with each other. When can we expect the REST API automation training batch? Aditya, soon, most probably in October second week. So one batch will be for Selenium with Java, one batch with Cypress, one with Rest Assured. I will keep you posted. Mahesh Kale, what are the expectations from a company for 6+ years experience in testing? So Mahesh, this question I already answered. Maybe you have to watch this recording after this live. So just a quick summary: go to any job portal, LinkedIn, see for 6 years experience what kind of skill set that is required. If you don't have the skill set, start implementing, learn that skill set, and then start applying, and then see if you're facing an issue, let me know. Whatever I have learned so far, one thing I got to know that, and recently I was reading a book, I got to know that if you take learning as 100%, 10% will be coming from books, 20% will come from mentors, teachers, influencers, or whatever you call them. Remaining 70% will come once you start implementing, once you start writing the code. So even if you teach everything online as a classes, YouTube videos, or anything, you will be covering 30%. Remaining 70% you guys have to write the code and see. So with 6 years, go to the market. If you have some friends, colleague, ask them that what kind of tools they're using, what kind of process they have, right? And check the different portals and build your skill set. Is there an opening for freshers in automation testing? See, Juggernaut, when it comes to opening for fresher, initially you might not get into the automation. You might have to start as a manual tester, then moved into automation. But yes, many companies, especially Cognizant, recently I saw they hired, if I'm not wrong, few hundred freshers recently. So openings are available. Only thing is, don't only focus on automation. As a fresher, you should be quite flexible, that whether you're getting into DBA, manual testing, even if you're getting as a developer role, feel free to uh, you know opt any role, because once you join a company, you might get into any other project where you get interest, you might do the internal movement. So there will be multiple doors open for you once you join a company. So as a fresher, whatever role you're getting, please get into that company, and that with time your interest might change, or your interest might be stronger on a specific subject, then you can plan your career accordingly. Hi sir, why for testing there's no vacancy ongoing? Is the market down for testing field? No, Arun. Market is recovering slowly. It's not completely down. There's a less opening, that I agree, but still market, you can see a lot of openings are available and companies are hiring. If you're not getting enough calls recently, if you see the Kirti got the package, she got into some good company. So even around 18 students from my previous batch got selected. So companies are hiring. Only thing is, make sure your resume is as per the market, your LinkedIn profile is updated, because if you're not getting calls, it's not that market is down, it could be your profile is not up to date, or maybe it's not built up properly. So get it reviewed first. If it is some issue from the resume side, fix it and start applying. And if you're not getting calls, then you have to actively search and start applying. I've seen many people, they just upload the portal, resume on portal, and they wait for the call. That's the wrong approach. You have to be little proactive and start taking referrals. Ask your friends, colleagues if they can provide referrals. Maybe if you see some jobs on LinkedIn, check do you have any connection in that company and ask for the referral. So that's how you have to try. But how to handle the print preview app windows? So, Palra, there's a two ways to handle. One is using the keyboard activities you can handle, or if you're working on Windows, you can use Auto IT. If you're working on Mac, you can use Seculi. But this is just can be easily handled with the keyboard activities. You can use this. Next decade must be ruled by IT. AI, sorry. Think AI is a product. AI industry needs QA to test AI model. Is that right, sir? If yes, what we need to do, is there any scope, any tools to upgrade ourselves? So Omnesh, I will recommend you to wait for 2 weeks. I have one interesting webinar coming. One webinar is coming with Artem on generative AI. One more webinar is coming on how AI is impacting, the impact of AI on testing. In that webinar we will take this as a dedicated topic. But yes, uh, somehow you're correct that we need to be smart and updated enough with AI technologies and AI models that we will be using and testing. Okay, Manikanta, Cypress or Playwright for e-commerce applications. So first of all, Manikanta, automation is not dependent on any application. So feel free to use any tool. But Cypress have certain trade-offs. Still, these trade-offs are available. So if your application is using that features which Cypress does not support, go with Playwright. So when it comes to dashboard service of Cypress, that is paid. So if you are planning to use Cypress dashboard service, then you have to think the cost perspective as well. But if your cost is not an issue, go with Cypress. But see the limitation of Cypress before you start automation. I've seen many people they start blindly automation without thinking the tool limitation. So in the last few people have automated the complete application using one tool. After a point there was some limitations, because of that they have to scrap the complete framework and they started again new. So it's again a loss of effort, right? So do proper POC with pros and cons, and then you start with either Cypress or Playwright. So when it comes to resources availability, okay, I can see the Cypress have very good documentation as compared to Playwright. But in terms of trade-offs, Playwright do not have much trade-offs, very less limitations of Playwright. How about rest assured API testing in market around 3+ years? So Dota, see, rest assured is a very small library. If you spend only 20 hours, you can learn rest assured. So it's a must skill now. You can't skip. Whether you are 3+, 5+, 10+, you need to have the rest assured in your profile. What is the scope of Intuit Karate framework? It's not Karate framework, it's Karate framework. So yes, as per the job description, okay, I have not used much. I've used for one of the POC. So if the job description mentions karate, yes, you have to learn. Many resources available. So one is by Amod Mahajan, by Naveen Kunteta. I might come up with my own series on karate framework. But when it comes to comparison with Selenium still have the high demand. Scope of Playwright in Cypress, just now I mentioned. In terms of functionality, uh, Playwright is better, but in terms of market capture, Cypress is better. So we have a new member, Doda Basawa. Thank you so much, Doda, for being a premium member. Thank you so much. Okay, I lost couple of questions. I will take them one by one. So in case your question is coming slowly, please don't mind. I have a lot of chats. I will try my best to answer all of this. This YouTube live will be for 1 hour. In case if I'm not able to answer few of the queries which you have asked, I will come live again next week on Wednesday again around similar time, and we can discuss further. One question from Krish. Hi Mukesh. I joined as an automation engineer, but due to project I'm doing DevOps, I'm fearful to go back to the market and apply as QA engineer. So Krish, first of all, if you're getting DevOps, please don't skip this. Please don't lose this opportunity. See, when it comes to QA, you can anytime come back to QA. But if you're getting DevOps, please go ahead, give your not 100, 200%, because DevOps having much value. Okay, I'm not criticizing QA, but when it comes to the tool set, skill set, the demand package, everything, you will get more exposure as a DevOps engineer. So generally, when QA people have done all the functional, non-functional, the only roadmap for them is DevOps, because in QA, as a QA, as an automation engineer, we use most of the DevOps tool, right? So many people in my company, once they have covered all the scope or all the areas of test automation, they moved into DevOps and they're doing very good. So if you're getting this, please don't lose this opportunity. If you need any help, get some trainings, get some mentors, but try to focus more on the DevOps. When it comes to QA, so you will be having mixed experience, QA plus DevOps. In that case, either you can continue as a DevOps or you can come back as a QA. Could you please share the brief knowledge rest assured API automation testing current market? So, Dota, as I already covered, Rest Assured is one of the DSL library in Java for API automation. So before you jump into Rest Assured, you have to understand some basics of API. And after this, I would recommend start with Postman. Once you are done with the Postman, then go with the Rest Assured. Rest Assured have almost uh, it's a separate framework altogether. With some small changes, you can build your own framework, but most of the things are easily available. It follows the BDD pattern. So given when, then what we use, you can use the same thing in Rest Assured. And when it comes to complexity, not very complex, just you need to remember setting classes, interfaces, and you're good to go. There are three, four channels on YouTube which have end to end on Rest Assured. I have around 9 videos in Rest Assured. Naveen Automation Lab have few videos, but there's channel called Amod Mahajan. He has 62 videos on Rest Assured that covers end to end. So if you can go and check this channel, you will get end to end knowledge about Rest Assured. Selenium with C Sharp, Chirag, very less openings. If you have, if that is your expertise, I would recommend to switch back. I'm not saying switch, but at least have the idea with Selenium with Java. So Zab says, I'm able to download file through Selenium on Eclipse in headless, but not able to click download button on Jenkins as a service. So Suza, first of all, the moment you say Jenkins as a service, by default, the test will run in the headless mode. Now, it's not downloading the file or you're not able to verify the file is downloaded or not. These are the two different questions. So what is your question? You're not able to download the file? If that is the case, see what exception is coming. See, the moment you run your test on Jenkins, and let's say if Jenkins is running on some container or VM, the screen resolution will change. Okay, uh, the dimension will change. In that case, you will be getting some different exception. Most of the times you will get element not intercepted exception, element not clickable exception. So in that case, you have to see the screenshot, whether it's properly visible, some other elements are not covering over it, right? Fix that exception and run it. It's a very common issue in Jenkins because the moment you run on local system, everything works fine. But the moment you run on cloud or certain VM or container, it start failing. So you have to fix the specific step which is failing and then rerun it. Sashi says the latest Selenium is not working on already open browsers. Yes, Sashi, that I agree. With the latest versions of Selenium, how to work with the existing window is not working. I have a workaround. I will share a dedicated video on this. Raj Kawana. Right now, I'm working as a manual tester just to gain experience. So after that, what are the different things I need to learn for getting good package ahead? So Raj, first of all, you need to have automation knowledge, okay? Because if you are just having the manual testing skills, so you might survive for a couple of years, okay? But after a point, you will see there's no growth. So in order to get the decent growth, in order to get a good companies, you should have automation skill set, okay? After getting job, you might work on manual automation. That doesn't matter, that's a different story altogether. But in order to crack a good job, you should have automation experience or at least knowledge. So start with web automation. That's the easiest way to learn automation. In web automation also, you have to be very careful which language to choose, which tool to choose, because the moment you start learning automation, it takes minimum 3 to 4 months to finish that complete stack. If you are in India getting started now, blindly go with Selenium Java. Once you cover this web automation, then go with API, then go with mobile automation. This is the stack that you have to focus. SQL project as just as perspective. Yes, Ashish, if you're getting SQL projects, please go ahead. That's a default skill. Even if you apply as a fresher or experience, SQL is must. So if you're getting exposure to SQL projects, please go ahead. I already have automation knowledge in Java with TestNG. See, not only Selenium with Java with TestNG, you have to learn Maven, Git, GitHub, Jenkins, Docker, because you will be running your Selenium grid with Docker, Docker on local, Docker on AWS. So, see, learning Selenium with Java will take hardly 40 hours. But if you have to showcase as a complete automation engineer, you need to cover these tools as well. Which cloud services we need to learn for testing? So, Bapa, basically, if you think of a cloud, I would recommend start with AWS and try to explore few services from AWS which you can use for automation. Apart from this, if you're looking for a specific dedicated testing services, we have Browser Stack, Lambda Test, SauceLab. Pick any one of the testing services where you can run your test cases on their cloud. And once you're comfortable with that, because that's a very just a small piece of code that you need to write, pass the username and API key, you can connect to their cloud and you can run. But the main issues or the challenges will come when you try to set up your own infrastructure. Okay. I will try to take questions, some questions, because it's an auto scroll feature, so it's coming very randomly. In case if I miss any of the question, I will take in a separate session. So Satyaji, if you don't mind, can you please repeat your question? It will be beneficial if you create one video regarding in this, like how to switch from manual to automation. Definitely, Raj, I will try my best. Shivam says, I have knowledge on eggplant testing tool, but I'm not able to switch with this tool knowledge. Which tool should I learn to get switch and higher package? So Shivam, this question I have already answered, but I want to highlight this, that many companies have licenses for certain rules. Okay, let's say you have a license for eggplant. Some companies have licenses for, let's say, Tosca. Some companies have for Catalan. Some companies have for Test Trigger. So these are the very specific tools, license based tools, which your company is using. But we need to learn certain tools which is common across all the companies, okay, which is uh, widely used in every organization, that you have to focus and start applying. Now coming back to your question, which tool, if you don't have Selenium in your bucket, so Selenium should be a high priority. Then go with Cypress, and once you're comfortable with this, go with the rest assured. I would highly recommend APM nowadays. Mobile automation is also, you will see in every job description, so go ahead with mobile automation also. Good thing with Selenium is once you learn Selenium, you can learn APM in 20 days hardly, or 10 days, because 90% methods are same. Only thing you need to see how to connect the devices, how to start emulator. If you're working on Macs, how to set up Xcode, okay, how to create a simulator in Mac, and just run the test on two different devices. I'm just mentioning two, but You can take any number of devices and you can run. Please make a dedicated video on nested roadmap. Yes, a good suggestion, Santosh. I will see if I can make video on this. Nancy, I have one question. Hi Mukesh, will it be good to do PMP certification as a QA if organization demands? If not interested, can I please give me your reviews? See, Nancy, this is a very tricky question. Sometimes you have to get aligned with your organization demands as well. Okay, so you have a dedicated roadmap that you have planned, but your company also needs certain certification from you, because maybe they have to deploy to certain clients need that your resources should have these certifications. You can't say no. It's always to have the experience of the different certifications. If you are getting a chance, please go ahead with the certification, you can reimburse it, but always follow. You have a dedicated roadmap and companies also expecting something from you. So personal professional both should match. This will help in a long run, personal one. But whatever your company is expecting from you, it could be changing the roles, changing the tool stack, changing the teams. It could be anything. You can't say no. Okay, because right now market is very uh, I will say not in a good state. So whatever is demand as per the companies, please go ahead and do that. If you need in the PMP certification, I have few colleagues who have done in the past. I can connect you with them. So Zab, it's not giving any exception. It's telling from logger that it's clicking the download button, but file does not download. When we run as Jenkins var file, it works, but when we run as service, it won't. So Suzab, in this case, you can write a simple logic that the moment you click on uh, download button, you get a file. You write a simple loop with a condition. If file is not downloaded, click on this again. Sometimes what happens, the moment you click on download, the file is getting downloaded, but you are verifying immediately that whether the file is available or not. So you can write a logic, keep on retrying until that file is not downloaded. If that solution doesn't work, go with JavaScript executor click, that always works. Okay, APM versus Selenium, which one is better to focus to get job and having support availability? Chirag, both are different tools. APM is for mobile automation, Selenium is for web automation. You need both. So first start Selenium, then APM. APM I will take at the last, Selenium rest assured, then APM. Okay, so one question from Doda again. Mukesh, is that works if we start as a QA automation, getting some basic knowledge? After 3 4 years, can we switch to DevOps engineer? Yes, Doda, why not? As I mentioned, many of my colleagues they move from QA to DevOps. Okay, you just need to build the skill set, and if if you're able to generate certain use cases in your local system or on the cloud, you can build the complete pipeline on the cloud. If you use all the AWS services, you can build the pipeline in few days. Okay, at least the basic pipeline. And if you're able to understand the different use cases, case studies, and roadmap, day-to-day activities of DevOps engineer, you can easily do that. So it takes 4 to 6 months if you want to become a DevOps engineer in terms of learning wise, but it's a good approach. Many people move to management after a few years. Many people move to DevOps. I've seen few people who moved from QA to developer as well. It's an individual choice, but you have multiple roadmaps for you. So don't think that you have only one options. You can change your career anytime. I have a video with Subhankar Das on my YouTube channel. He started as a support engineer, then he moved into QA, manual testing, then automation, and now he's a leading a team of 20 member. Very inspirational journey. Please go ahead and check out his video. Balaji, I have 11 plus experience mostly on manual testing. How can I prepare interviews? First of all, Balaji, with manual testing, you will not get enough calls. You have to add automation. If you have to add automation, make sure you learn the automation first. Spend 6 months minimum, because with 11 years, they will be expecting too much from you in terms of automation. So you need to cover all the tool stack, then you can start applying. If you're applying as a manual tester, then definitely, since you've been working almost 11 years, you know end to end about manual testing. But for automation, you have to spend some good time, and then you apply later. Let me scroll back and see, did I miss any question? Okay, Devashish, if I am a beginner, should I go with Selenium Java or Python Selenium? Blindly go with Selenium Java, no other option. See, you might learn Selenium with C Sharp, Selenium with Ruby, Selenium with Python, Selenium with C Sharp. But if your end goal is to look for a job, go with Selenium Java. When we can expect the QA job market to boom again? It's booming slowly, but it might take some time. Expected is still June 2024, as per the news, as per the sentiments, but it's recovering now. Geeta Mehta, hi Mukesh, which automation tool would you prefer for a desktop based life science application? Robot framework Selenium. So, first of all, Geeta, Selenium does not support desktop automation, so that is not an option. You can use robot framework. Your robot framework internally uses Sikuli library and Auto IT library. So you have two choices. Either you can use Sikuli as a separate tool altogether, you can use Auto IT separate tool altogether. With robot framework, things will be very easy. So robot framework have this as a separate library. You can download this library in robot framework, and all these libraries are available as a keyword. So it will make your task little easier, but behind the scenes, Sikuli and Auto IT works. So you can go ahead with this robot framework. Okay, let me see if any question which I missed. Any new tool and language do we need to learn if we have good knowledge on Selenium with Java, restricted karate? Could you please help? Yes, Balchandra, definitely. First of all, the BDD is missing. Please add BDD. APM is missing. Please add APM. Once you complete the stack, I would highly recommend to pick at least one JavaScript based framework, either Playwright or Cypress. Personal choice, Cypress for market. But Balchandra, see, you cannot blindly learn every tool. You need to understand. Recently, I was going through one of the Medium link, and I saw in that list 49 automation tools are available. Okay, these are the popular one. There could be number of tools which is available, but these 49 list which I saw, it was a popular one. You cannot learn all the tools. So understand how the automation process works, right? How to do automation, different framework, the process we use, how to use Git, GitHub, what is pipeline, how to create a pipeline, how to set up your infrastructure, how to run your test cases on these infrastructure. So once you understand the complete automation game, even if you get a chance to work on different framework, it might take hardly 1 month for you to learn, because the new tool which is coming, they have a new syntax, they might have a new set of libraries and some predefined functions, but the automation concepts will never change. Whether you use Tosca, Karate, uh, Catalan, take any tool, testing fundamentals will never change, automation fundamentals will never change. Most welcome, Geeta. Okay, Shabbir Ahmed. Hello, sir. I'm completely non-IT guy with educational gap of 6 years, but still want to learn Java and join it. Please suggest me it's good or not. If good, then what is the proper roadmap? So, Shabbir, for you, you might get some struggle, frankly speaking, to be very honest, because non-IT with 6 years gap, you have to justify first of all that what is this gap is all about. Even somebody is taking you as a fresher, you should be ready with the market. As I mentioned, some companies they have conditions that they will only take B tech guys or with no gap. Some companies accepts 1 year or 2 years of gap. Some companies might accept 3 years of gap. But since you have 6 years of gap, I would recommend you to join as a fresher and target the startup companies. Not only Java, you have to first, before you jump into automation, you need to learn manual testing. What is SQL? What is APIs? So spend at least few days to understand what is testing, testing techniques, testing levels, all the testing terminologies, how to raise bug, test plan, everything which comes under testing. Then you move into automation. If you directly start with uh, automation, first of all you will not be able to connect the dots that why we are doing automation, what is the reason, what is the need of it. So first get into the manual testing, then move into automation, then start applying. There are few companies who provide the consulting services, right? Like they will place you in some companies. I don't know their processes, but few consulting companies you can connect if they can help you in the placement. Don't pay upfront. Okay, there's a lot of scam happening. They will take money, then they will not place you. Blah blah blah. But if you have some trusted sources, trusted connections, please take advantage of this. But don't make upfront payment. So these companies they take some payment for the training, then after training they will place you. So, but make sure you get the background clear first and then you check. Again, it's not a recommendation, this is one of the option. Please take your own risk, please do your own study research and then apply. If you want to directly go in a plain manner, start learning first. After spending 3 4 months, start applying. AI is going to impact us, testers are going to lose their job. For an example, test trigger can do automation. In that case, what is the sense of what is the use of Selenium? Okay, so it's not that all the testers will lose the job, but definitely it is getting impacted. If you see the number of headcount is getting decrease. Initially we used to have 10, now it went down to 6. It might come down to 4, not because of the AI, because of the many different aspects. AI is making our task easier, but it's not replacing completely. I made a video on Chat GPT. If you notice in that video, whatever task I used to do in 3 hours, I can do in maybe 15 minutes now because Chat GPT and other generative AI tools in the market. So it's not going to replace completely, but yes, you will see the impact. And if you're not up to the market, then uh, it is on risk. Now, coming back to your question, what is the use of Selenium? Selenium have a very specific use case, Amita. It's not for the end-to-end automation. It's only for web automation. But when you're doing automation, it's not only web. You have to perform end-to-end automation, right? And few tools which is providing end-to-end solution, it's coming with a cost. Not every tool is free. Many tools who are AI-based tools, they are paid. So now company have choices. They want to do end-to-end automation using AI with all the tools which is coming in the market, or they want to do completely by open source. Many companies they are doing the mix and match, so they're taking few AI tools, few automation tools which is licensed one because they have a support, plus they're having some skilled resources who are using this tool. So it's not replacing completely, but yes, get comfortable, get used to this AI tools and the codeless no code automation tools in the market. uh, you might into that come into that zone where you have to use such tool in future in order to improve the efficiency. Yes, Praveen, I know. I gained almost 7 kgs. I'm working on it. The target is till March 2024. I started my diet journey again. But thanks for noticing. Okay, hi Mukesh. How's the current market? Is it fine to put paper and search as I have 90 days notice? Also, workload is heavy due to which I'm forced to do. Kindly reply. So, Sharon Baswa, first of all, I will not recommend this because if you're overconfident that I will put down the paper, I will get the job in 3 months, it's a myth. See, if you're very lucky, okay, you might get into the job. If you have very good skill set, you might get into the job very easily. But consider the worst case scenario. uh, Again, since I deal with a lot of connections, I have a lot of students. They have done this mistake in the past, and they got the job obviously, but it took some time for them. It was not 3 months for them. It took maybe 5 months, 6 months. For few candidates it took 8 months. So if it is impacting on your health, okay, that too much of workload, you're not able to sleep, you're not able to do anything, then you might have to take a call. But considering the current market, if you can talk to your manager, if you can talk personally that this is how your health is getting impacted, you cannot do so much of work, maybe you need another resource. Or maybe if you can structure your work or categorize your work like less priority, high priority task, then somehow you have to manage at least for the next few months until the market is not getting corrected. But not recommended to leave the job immediately and search for the second job. Once you have the offer, then yes, there are few. I totally agree, 90 days notice is a big challenge, but still many companies consider 90 days of notice period. This is my personal advice, but you know your condition better. uh, so best of luck. I will try my best to help, but recommended is once you have a good offer, then you can negotiate with the further companies and then plan accordingly. Funny repeated, kindly repeat, kindly explain cloud testing in detail. So it's a very vast topic, by the way. I will make a dedicated video on this cloud testing and what are the things you need to learn. I planned this live session for 1 hour, 9:30 to 10:30. 10:30 is we have already completed the time. So I will try my best to join next week again, Wednesday, and I will try to take a couple of questions which I missed. Let me take quick few questions which can be answered in 1 or 2 lines. I'm not sure for the impact of AI and all on testing, but trust me, the way people are running behind all tool at a time, this behavior will replace them. Tester need to master in one tool first. Good thought, Praveen. See, you need to understand one thing, that everybody is doing a business, right? Companies are doing a business. Every company will come up with their own product, and you will see after ChatGPT, the number of AI tools is flooding. Whether you watch Instagram Reel, YouTube Shorts, or automation, even I've seen a lot of development task is getting replaced by AI. So even though a lot of AI tools is coming, but you should have your own skill set, which uh, will be kind of common or required in the job market. So if you have your own skills parallelly, you can explore this AI tool. I'm not saying stop exploring this, but these tools also you have to parallelly see, but you have to build your own roadmap for the future as well. Okay, last question, then we can end the session. uh, I have 6 years of experience in manual testing, working with automation team for 6 months with 10 LPA. Will it be better to switch my career to data analyst and data engineer roles for better package? See, Avinash, first of all, if you're just looking for the better package, let me tell you, people are making good money in QA as well. Okay, so don't think that only a data analyst, developers, DevOps engineer, data engineers are getting good package. Only thing is, right now in your company, you are getting a less package. So even if you target good companies without switching to data science or data analyst or any other domain, you can get a very handsome package. Now depends on which is your location. So 6 years, 10 is as compared to the market is low. But try to focus on some companies which have the standard LPA. Okay, so do the local research in your location and then switch in the same domain or DevOps, not immediately into data analyst, data engineers. And the reason is you cannot showcase 6 years into data as a data analyst, right? You have been doing testing almost from six years. You can't immediately move, right? You can say that this is what you have learned and now this is your interest, you are moving. But why somebody will hire a 6 years experienced testing guy for a data scientist role? Either you will create a fake story, that is again an issue, right? Because even if you crack the company, you will join that particular company, they will have a different expectation for you. So if your goal is to just increase the package, target some good companies, but not change the role. This is my personal opinion, but rest is up to you. Okay, so that's all from my side. I missed two, three questions. I totally understand and sorry for that. But since I'm running short of time, I will take the questions next week, next Wednesday. So once again, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for spending 1 hour with me. So those who have joined late, next Saturday we have RTP in Chennai. Full day event Saturday 11 to 6. Me, Naveen, Sanjay will be joining end-to-end discussion about testing. So if you're in Chennai or nearby location, please join. And if you're not able to join, please circulate this message to your friends and colleagues. And I will see you in the next event. Till then, bye bye, take care, and I will see you in the next live. Bye bye.